These are creepy TikToks that will make you rethink your whole reality.
He died after an 11-hour standoff with police despite Snoop begging him to surrender.
1997, The Simpsons released this episode predicting a 9/11 event at the World Trade Center in New York.
Comes to the day and age where we've actually got physical humanoid robots. What's saying they're not going to be as advanced as us, if not more, because they could just fake it and act up.
For example, have you ever wondered how Biden, even at his age, seems tirelessly dedicated to his duties at the White House?
I'm back to FITTI to the E, and today I got this compilation for you guys to watch till the end of the video. If you guys like the chain, check the link down below. 99% of these chains are free right now, so if you guys like some, get you a free pair, you know what I'm saying? Get you one for your girl, your husband, your child, your children, your brother, sister, whoever you want. Let's try to get this goal. Let's try to get this video to 500 likes. Let's just jump right into it.
Remember this lady from Insidious? What if I were to tell you that not only is she real, but I've seen her? Story time. I have shared this a while back when I had like 2 followers. I figured I would go ahead and reshare the story. I used to work at the hospital night shift in the trauma center. On this night, I happened to be in the front when this guy, his mom, and another lady came up to the front. Mind you, when you work night shift in the ER, you always have different types of people coming in. So her being dressed in this way didn't really cause any alarm. I just figured that whatever, that was just her taste. So the guy walks up to the counter wanting to be checked in, and his mom and the lady sit in the chairs that are right across from me. He was coming in for something minor, like a stomach ache, I don't even remember. But as I checked him in, I went to hand him 2 visitor passes. So I'm like, these are for the 2 ladies that you came in with. The minute I said this, his face completely changed and he got really serious. And he goes, what 2 ladies? I look behind him and I no longer see the other lady. I don't see her anymore. I only see his mom sitting there. So I respond with, oh, I could have sworn you came in with 2 people. He was like, no, it's just my mom and I. So I respond with, oh, okay, I must just be seeing things. And he responds back, like he kind of snaps back at me like, yeah, you clearly are just seeing things. And I'm just like, okay. So I kind of just told him to sit down. After he went back with his mom, mind you, as he's walking past me, I feel chills as his mom is also walking past me. They go to the back and get taken care of. A little bit later, one of my coworkers, the girl that was in the back, now registering them in the back, she comes up to me and she's like, oh, I have like the worst chills. I have like this horrible feeling. She was like, I checked in. She mentions that same patient. I checked him in with his mom, and the whole time I was in the room, I had chills and something just felt extremely off about them. And then, of course, tell her what I saw. Her and I were close enough where I could share that stuff with her and she wouldn't think I was crazy. So yeah, that was one of the first times that I realized that people can have attachments and they'll have things that literally are attached to them and that walk with them every single day. This lady was with this lady and they were literally locked arms when they walked in. But it was just as...
Nah, that is creepy as hell, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. That reminds me of you guys commenting in my comments being like, bro, do not, you know what's really weird? There's some people that are like, yes, visit those haunted places. Yes, give me content. And then there's the people in the comments like, please don't go there. You'll get things attached to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just remind me of those comments where people are just like, bro, if you go to them places, bro, you're gonna have things walk with you for the rest of your life. I'm like, It's like this weird tug of war. Like, people really want it, then there's people that are like, please don't do this. Like, I'm like, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens.
Take a look at this news reporter caught shapeshifting on camera.
We talk about the mother's arrest, but the mother says that her 16-year-old daughter, the victim in this case, was also arrested here back on September 18th. Now, keep in mind, this is the family story, their account of what they see happened here on campus earlier this month. Unfortunately, we weren't able to reach the school district for comment, but keep in mind, a mother and daughter back.
Bro, he clearly started turning into a lizard, and then the cameraman saw and shifted the angle. Make sure you check out my latest video if you want more proof that lizard people are real.
In my head, it's just like, it's always the garbage quality videos that people are like, oh, he was shape-shifting. I mean, I wonder if they just ever sat down and think like, or maybe the quality of video was just terrible. What? I'm thinking to myself too, this is a lizard dude. Why would the cameraman also be in on it? It's just like, oh yeah, he's transformed into a lizard. Switch. Imagine they were just both lizards. Just the whole news is just ran by lizards. I wouldn't be surprised.
Wow.
This is one of the spookiest clips you'll ever see. This footage comes to us from a motorist who was driving along a highway one evening when something unexpected happened. And he caught the event on his dash cam. Take a look. A figure comes out of nowhere and passes straight through the car. The driver said he pulled off the road, got out of his vehicle to see what had happened, but the front of his car had been untouched. It seems whatever it was passed straight through the car and then disappeared into the night. Many believe this was a ghost sighting. Other drivers have reported seeing a figure roaming that same road late at night but can never find the individual. Is this the ghost of someone who passed away on this stretch of highway? Who or what do you think it is?
This is exactly why I feel like everyone needs a dash cam, bro. I'm getting a dash cam. Yo, you're just driving and you see something like that. You're like, what? That's not even explainable. Like, you can't just be like, yeah. You can't just go to the homie and just be like, yeah, bro, I was just literally just driving.
I hurt myself today.
In the Marvels, Captain Marvel gets cosmically connected to two other marvelous Marvel superheroes, Miss Marvel and Professor Marvel. Which is lucky for her, because this time she must face her toughest opponent yet, the hammer of an earlier villain, as well as the bracelet of the other hero. And yeah, I guess there's a person there holding them too. And to be fair, the first trailer did make this seem like one of the more interesting MCU movies in a while. What? Why? Because instead of being just another MCU superhero entry, there's a fresh idea at the center here, like you would find in a non-franchise script. Whenever the heroes use their powers simultaneously, they swap places. That's a pretty inventive addition, and it does lead to good stuff, like the heroes zapping into events already in motion, fun relationship moments, action that stands out, as well as even pretty amusing comedic moments.
Oh, it's cool, it's Carol.
Unfortunately, all of this is ruined, of course, since it is the MCU we're talking about. A brand that once incited excitement that has now become an embodiment of hurting yourself with unnecessary crappiness. You know, it doesn't really help that there's a fresh idea to generate action when the action still looks like it was animated on Microsoft Paint. My point here is this: it does not matter how much positive potential the Marvels has going for it, because it suffers from the main pitfalls that come with being Marvel. It may not be the worst or the most problematic MCU movie to date, but it does represent the core problems of the MCU in a worse way than any movie before. And I understand that there are tons of those problems, like the over-reliance on goofy CGI, as I just mentioned. But that's superficial on the surface. The core issues with the MCU of today are best described with these key words: gimmicks, checks in boxes, and universe obsession. Those problems are the main reason why Marvel today is an embodiment of Ohio filmmaking. So let's look into that. Let's look at the Marvels to identify what the MCU's biggest self-inflicted wounds are and how they have grown out of f***ing control.
You have done that yourself.
Here's how Marvel is hurting itself today and what it must do to stop the bleeding.
Whatever I become, my sweet.
The first key Marvel problem hurting this movie is that almost everyone and everything is a gimmick worth nothing more than the gimmick itself. What gimmick basically means is an easily comprehensible idea that can be sold to the audience quickly. It can be useful when used to build value, but the issue here is that the value of things is limited mostly to their gimmicks, from the characters to the story to even scene level content. On the character side, look at the villain, whose introduction consists of her landing on this planet to look for something. Do we know anything about her? Do we see any action that would make us take her seriously as a villain? No, but she has this cosmic hammer that was used by an earlier cosmic villain, Malekith. Therefore, she's a badass villain, right?
It's called the Universal Weapon.
And in terms of her plan, do we know anything about it? Do we see anything that would make us take her plan seriously? No, but she digs up this cosmic bracelet that's like the one that one of the heroes has. Therefore, whatever she's planning, it must be a big deal, right?
We were forged as a pair.
We'll keep looking for it. It must be buried elsewhere.
Like where?
End of introduction.
Is that it? I think so.
And what about when the heroes finally meet the villain? Where does her value come from then? Well, she puts on that bracelet. She uses the bracelet to absorb Captain Marvel's attack. She combines the bracelet's stolen power with the hammer, and now she's super deadly.
Her band absorbs your energy and redirects it. You gave her power.
Then she goes to this planet and uses the bracelet and hammer to open up the sky, and now the whole planet is in danger. The point is that by the end, there's like 5 gimmicks active at once, which are crushing the villain underneath them. And that's not good. Thanos was good because he was more than his glove. The glove was good because the stones had value beyond just their gimmicky powers. It's tough to get invested in characters when 90% of their value comes from superficial labels and the stuff they wear, to the point where the person underneath could be anyone, which is already kind of the case.
You're a Hawkeye. Hold that thought.
Oh, the reason you should like this new hero is because in her introduction, for some reason, she's a fan of Captain Marvel, who you know. And look, now something's happening with her bracelet. End of introduction. I don't give a shit. Same issue with the story, which is basically run by gimmicks. Oh, the way Captain Marvel learns about the villain is because some space jump mumbo jumbo left a trace or something.
What do you know about the surge in the jump point system a few hours ago?
Oh, the way the heroes end up joining forces is because they touch the space jump mumbo jumbo that's also connected to the bracelet, and now they swap places when they use their powers.
Our joint exposure to these unsteady jump points and our susceptibility to electromagnetic energy has temporarily...
Oh, the villain plans to use the bracelet to tear open the space jump mumbo jumbo to restore her planet's atmosphere and sun that were destroyed for reasons never properly established.
The Civil War has polluted our skies, and our sun is dying.
Oh, and then it kills her. Okay. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but what I properly established.
The Civil War has polluted our skies, and our sun is dying.
Oh, and then it kills her. Okay. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but what I mean is that what you see is what you get. The two other heroes don't even have a personal reason to fight the villain. They just become connected to Captain Marvel, who is fighting the villain, and so now I guess they may as well fight the villain too.
So let's get to the red flag part, because there's not significant controversy with the exception of the stuff that we've seen here, and it's surface level stuff. So Kelsey's known to have 1, 2, 3, 4 long-term relationships. Maya Banbury, Kayla Nicole, Zuri, I don't know who Zuri Hall is, and of course Taylor Swift being the 4th. So not a lot of notches overtly stated to the public based on his dating history. Taylor Swift is another story. So the 2 red flags, and guys, if you're new to the channel, let me give you the ticker for the, there it is.
So we have Madam Web reviews finally dropping. Keep in mind they embargoed this movie until today. Not really a big vote of confidence in the movie when you do that, in my opinion. And you can see why. Here is, from The Independent, Madam Web branded an embarrassing mess as Dakota Johnson's Marvel film finally surfaces. So this film is not being very well received. In fact, some people are saying Morbius is better. It's not good. We all knew this movie was going to be a mess. I don't think anybody is surprised by that, but we're going to go through some of these reactions, and they're very funny. But before we do that, let's take a look and see how the movie is doing across the country. I love it when people do this. So this is where this thread starts. So it starts with Alan from Film Threat. It says, my Madam Web ticket has just been purchased. I hope it's worth it in IMAX. And he posted this February 12th, one day ago. He's the only person that bought a ticket in the best spot at the theater, actually. I don't think I'm going to see this in
No one is talking about the Lahaina fire anymore. So let me tell you what's going on as told by locals.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Las Vegas.
Yeah, something happened. Before we even go into that, according to this tweet, crowd in Vegas boos The Rock, demanding he follow through with aid for Maui. Oprah and The Rock Johnson promised tens of millions to the victim of the Maui fire, but many victims still have not seen a dime. It looked like the audience is fully American first and is demanding The Rock and Oprah follow through with the commitment to take care of the people of Lahaina. The crowd started booing and chanting, Maui, 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 make it happen. The Rock replied to this guy. Before we even go into that, I will play this video so you can see exactly what is going on. It saddens my heart to realize what is happening in Hawaii. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that, and if possible, it would do you no harm if you share this video.
No one is talking about the Lahaina fire anymore. So let me tell you what's going on as told by locals. Since the fire, locals are saying that the city is not approving building permits, so they cannot rebuild their homes. The US government won't allow insurance adjusters to take pictures or visit homes, so insurance payouts are still being processed. Residents are being sued for trying to build mobile homes on their own property. The banks are still charging mortgage payments, and with people falling behind on their payments, the banks are going to repossess their land. Many Maui residents are being shuffled around from hotel to hotel. They can't unpack, they can't get settled, and they can't even start building a new life almost half a year later. Maui's Mayor Josh Green and the City Council are trying to force Airbnb owners to convert their properties into long-term rentals for displaced residents. Isn't that interesting? Moving away from private ownership and leaving rentals as the only option. So much about the Lahaina fire situation gives 15-minute city vibes. It screams land grabs and Marxism. It has long been said that the Hawaiian Islands act as control groups and the Hawaiians as unwitting test subjects for the US government. As for the the cause of the fire, we still don't have a cause. The official story was that the hurricane winds down at the power lines, but the CEO of the local utility, Hawaiian Electric, says their power lines, knocked down by the high winds, appear to have caused a fire that same morning of August 8th. But she said she was told by the Maui County Fire Department that it was put out and that their company is not responsible for the fire that later swept Lahaina. So the fire department put it out, reported it to Hawaiian Electric, and then later we have a fire that destroys the entire town. So where did that fire come from?
Maui County's Emergency Operations Center sign-in sheet is a public record that for close to 5 months, county officials appeared reluctant to hand over. It wasn't until H&N Investigates got its attorneys involved that the log.
The Rock is finally addressing the backlash that he and Oprah got for starting a fund, begging regular people for their money instead of their rich friends. And he's doing this after the start of the Israel-Palestinian war. Watch.
We first launched the fund, there was some backlash.
Yep.
Launching the fund, and I want to address and acknowledge that backlash right now.
Okay.
And here's what I have to say about that. I get it, and I completely understand. And I could have been better. And next time I will be better. And I understand, money ain't falling out of the sky and it's not growing on trees. And there's a lot of people out there who's living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Most
I know what that's like. I've lived paycheck to paycheck. $7. I know what that's like. And when you are living paycheck to paycheck, I don't want to speak for everybody. I'll speak for myself. But I feel it's connected. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, I was easily pissed off and I was frustrated. And the last thing you want to hear when you are living paycheck to paycheck is someone asking you for money.
Yeah.
Especially when the person asking you for money already has a lot of money.
Yes.
So I get it. I understand. I've never launched a fund before, but I'm a quick study and
No, it has been over a month since he started the fund. It's been over a month since he started getting this backlash, but he's doing this 2 days after the Palestinian-Israeli war. And after he came back to the WWE. I think that was kind of like a springboard to see if this would work. Because the WWE was like, oh man, The Rock is back. Forget that backlash stuff, it's The Rock. So anyway, it seems like his PR team was planning this. But I mean, it's The Rock. Of course I forgive him, it's The Rock. What do you guys think?
Yes, The Rock saw that tweet this guy sent out with the video you saw at the beginning. This is what he said. I typically refrain from responding to toxic false clickbait garbage like this because I hate dignifying bullshit with a response. But when you use Hawaii's tragic event to draw attention to yourself, I won't stay quiet. This moment you are referring to is from our WWE press conference this past Thursday where I turned heel wrestling talent for bad guy. I'm playing it up with our crowd as they boo it. What we do in our WWE universe, we all love every second of it. For the record, our People's Fund on Maui has already delivered over $50 million to over 80,000 survivors who were affected by the fires, and I'm grateful to the bone that we have